What is up? Welcome back. Like we've been gone that long, but wanted to do some updates on this story, the Philadelphia situation. A lot of people saw this yesterday, and there are some pretty crazy updates. Let me see, 49 minutes ago. Okay, cool. Okay, and thank you for everybody that sent me the link, BL and Nola. So let's do a little like mini recap. I want to play this link and article, and then we'll get to some of the new details. I haven't even had time to even process or even read much of anything because I was here with you guys streaming all day. But there was this huge fire that broke out after there was a call to this house where somebody made a 911 call. There was a whole bunch of confusion because like, people were thinking it's an 11-year-old that got shot, and cops responded to the call. When they respond, they get shot at, and 2 cops went to the hospital. This whole big commotion. The place starts to burn down. It was a 3-story building or house, and eventually the thing just burns to a crisp. Everything starts to fall in on itself. And we were talking about, because at one point they were like, was there even an 11-year-old? Was this a setup? And apparently, because I pulled up the address yesterday, and there was like a ton of people that showed up, and I wasn't even sure. A lot of them were like Asian type of names, but there was one name that was like American type of name. And I was sent a picture today too. Potentially, this could be what who the victims are, and I heard that it might be kids, a portion of it. But we'll I don't know. We'll have to see. So let's do this recap video first.
And then the next thing we heard, pop, 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 pop.
Uniform patrol responded and saw 2 officers, and they advised our officers that they had been shot.
We knew there were multiple family members, and we know that at least 6 to
multiple family members.
8 people are unaccounted for, meaning we haven't had any contact with them.
And now a difficult search is about to get underway for a family feared to be inside of this home in East Lansdowne. As you heard, at least 6 members of that family are still unaccounted for this morning.
That says the husband is or was Asian.
After 2 police officers were shot and that house was set on fire. Good morning, everybody. On this Thursday, those 2 police officers were responding to a 911 call when they were shot outside of that house along Lewis Avenue in East Lansdowne. Firefighters tried to control that fire that was raging for hours.
We have live team coverage, the ongoing investigation. Jane Carabeo has an update on the officers' conditions, but first, CBS News.
So the officers were fine.
Philadelphia reporter Wakisha Bailey is live.
To develop, but police tell us that their primary focus this morning is to find out who are these people and what happened. Now,
and by the way, like one of the things that I heard, like off the top of my head, a torso was found.
Coming from inside the house.
We're going to listen to a press
and
conference.
Around 3:45 Wednesday afternoon, police responded to 58 Lewis Avenue after a call of 11-year-old was shot inside the home. When they arrived, they were met with gunfire and 2 officers were hit. Now, moments later, flames were seen coming out of the home and the gunfire stopped. It's believed someone inside the home started the fire. The DA's office says firefighters were initially kept back because the incident was an active shooter situation. Now, it's not known if a child was actually shot or if the call was to lure officers to the home.
I saw the SWAT team. They were parked up on my lawn. They packed into the back of the SWAT vehicle. I think they were attempting
Good afternoon, everyone.
The SWAT
My name is Jack.
Sorry about that.
Shield, but the fire just got to be. It was out of control. There was no way for them to really go into the building and be safe.
These 6 to 8 people are unaccounted for, meaning we haven't had any contact with them.
So this is wild, okay? We're going to get into the updates. Just doing a little recap for anybody that missed this. But this situation yesterday, it was a standoff. Supposedly somebody was barricaded. There was word of an 11-year-old. Nobody knew where this 11-year-old was. Everybody was freaking out. And we were even talking about, even since yesterday, imagine like there's the whole family's in the house. That this person killed the whole family.
Some are children, some are older, young adults. And our fear, of course, is that they were inside the house. Begin what might be gruesome process of trying to find out who was in the house and what happened, if we did the best of our ability.
And back out here live, we are on the part of Lewis Avenue that still remains blocked off. Now, this morning will be the first time detectives will be able to go inside and begin their search inside the home. It was smoldering till late last night, so there wasn't much that they could do. Now, we are expected to hear from the DA's office later this morning, and as we know more information, we'll be sure to pass it along to you. Jim?
All right. We can move it on. I think we can probably almost jump to the new...
Look at this new video
too. This is video that we didn't see yesterday.
Here, this is video posted to TikTok showing the chaos that unfolded just after.
Yeah, it's crazy too when the news is referencing TikTok, right? Breaking news, guys, from TikTok, not us, TikTok. But it makes sense though. The community posting what they see.
Those officers was shot. You can see a police officer using a shield rush over to help as that injured officer falls to the ground. Officers from Lansdowne, East Lansdowne, and Upper Darby Township all responded to the home on Lewis Avenue. They were immediately met with gunfire. The injured officers, their identities have not yet been released, but we're told one works for Lansdowne, the other works for East Lansdowne, and both have more than 20 years on the job.
Okay.
Or onto that street.
All right, so let's move on to the new stuff, right? Now, I feel like we should just jump to this press conference. Let's jump to this newest press conference that came out. This was dropped like an hour ago.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jack Stolzheimer, and I'm the District Attorney of Delaware County. I am here joined today by the mayors of Upper Darby, Lansdowne, East Lansdowne, as well as the police chiefs from each of those municipalities. Senator Tim Carney is with us as well. Chris Iserman, who is the Deputy Chief in Fulcroft and is the FOP President for Lodge 27. We are here because in another, hopefully, 45 minutes or so, we're going to be releasing one of the heroes from yesterday, David Shazza, who was a police officer in Lansdowne who was wounded yesterday at this horrible incident that took place at 58 Lewis Avenue in East Lansdowne. You're all aware of the facts as they've happened so far. I do want to tell you that at this point, what I can tell you from the investigation that we've conducted to this point, the residents of the people at 58 Lewis Avenue are called the Lee family, L-E family. It's an Asian pronunciation of Lee. There are at least 3 adults and 3 children who are unaccounted for and that we fear were in the home at the time of the shooting and the subsequent fire. At this point, our detectives from the County Detective Bureau, led by Chief Jim Nolan, who's behind me, have been working diligently since this morning to process that scene. We have found the torso of one individual, and we've recovered 1 rifle at this point. But there is a lot more work to be done. Again, there are...
And the other thing, too, is we don't know if that house had a basement either. I don't know, so the whole thing kind of collapsed in on itself.
6 members of the Lee family who are residing in that house who are unaccounted for at this point, and we fear were in the house and have been killed. We are continuing to process the scene. That will take, I can't even begin to tell you. And we fear were in the house and have been 6 members of the Lee family who are residing in that house who are unaccounted for at this point, and we fear were in the house.
I'm telling you, these people nowadays, bro, they're wiping out the family. I don't know what kind of ish this is. They kill the kids, the whole family.
And have been killed. We are continuing to process the scene. That will take, I can't even begin to tell you or estimate how long it's going to take for us to continue to do that work. It's a very unsafe scene. Chief Nolan and the chiefs behind me have all made sure that the officers who are doing that work are doing it as carefully and as safely as possible. We don't want anybody else hurt. At this point, Officer Shazza is going to be released. We're happy about that. He is going home to his family. The hero that he is, he doesn't even want people to even know his name. I think Chief Rutherford has thrown me under the bus by having me announce his name. Officer Meehan is still in the hospital. He has suffered a slightly more serious wound. We are hoping he will be released either later today or tomorrow, but we're really at the doctor's wishes on that. That's all the information I have right now. Really not able to take many more questions. Go ahead, John. You're going to try it anyway.
Yes, I'm going to try it anyway. Can you tell me, do we know who called 911 and whether or not the call originated from them?
I cannot confirm. I don't know. Let me be honest with you. I do think a family member who's not inside the house might have made a call. I don't know if that was the 911 call that triggered the response. I just don't know.
Were there family members that escaped from the house?
There are two family members who I would say are the grandparents of the children and the parents of some of the adults who have been were on scene. I don't know at what point they left the scene.
Jack, you mentioned the Lee family. Do you know the relationship with the person who shot, set the fire? Is this the same person that you believe carried out the crime?
What we know is that those individuals we believe were in the house. One of them may in fact have been the shooter, but we're still at the process of trying to find out where everybody is inside that house to do the work, the awful, horrible work of trying to recover these bodies. That's the second step of an investigation, is to try to figure out who may or may not have been the shooter. And I don't know if we'll ever really be able to determine that.
Well, the shooter is related to the Lee family.
We believe it could be a member of the family, but we don't know. What we know at this point, there could be other people in that house. What I'm telling you, what I do suspect, is that there are 6 members of that family who resided there who are unaccounted for, and we are presuming were in the house at the time of this incident and the fire. So everyone who was in the house at that fire is presumed dead at this point. But again, we don't know because they're unaccounted for, but that's the gruesome assumption, is that they were in the house and we're going to have to recover their bodies over the next period of time.
Any idea how the fire started?
No idea. John, we're still at the stage of trying to get into the house bit by bit and recover bodies and evidence. That finding you're talking about how who shot and how the fire was started, if we ever determine it, it won't be anytime soon. That's all part of the process, but the biggest concern right now is to safely get our officers inside. We don't want anybody else hurt, and then see if we can send the family and give them closure about the missing members of their family, and if there might be anybody else inside there as well. And that might be a gruesome, time-consuming process too, because these people's bodies have been destroyed by fire. So we may have to resort to dental records and other means to try to determine who's who when we do find more bodies, assuming we do. So that's an assumption based on an assumption, but it's all based upon the fact that these members of that family who resided there are unaccounted for now, 24 hours after the incident.
Did you say that the parents of the adult children who were unaccounted for, that they were living in that house as well?
I don't know if they were living there. I can't confirm or deny that.
You say that there was one life that was found within this building, at least the remains. Does that include that torso that you had mentioned? And I'm sure it's going to be such a difficult process. How do you figure out if it is truly a person right now?
Well, what I've been told is we found the torso of one human, and we found a weapon. That's what we found so far. We will find other things, but that's the knowledge we have right now. I can't tell you who that is or anything like that, but we found the remains of a human torso, and we found a rifle. And that's really all I can tell you at this point. And you opened the door with the question, and now I'm going to have to stop you all because I really don't have any other further information.
That's crazy. And so there's another article. Is it this one? I don't know if it's this one that gets into more information. It was sent to me. The house at where are we at? The house at 58 Lewis in East Lansdowne looked like any other in the inner ring suburbs. A small Happy Valentine flag fluttered in the front yard, and a nearby couple of snow shovels were leaned up against the wall. But the events of Wednesday changed that normalcy. Crime investigators were slowly demolishing the remains of the home Thursday, looking for evidence and possible remains of the 6 to 8 people following a shootout with police and spectacular fire Wednesday. Crazy to see. Took them a while to put it out too. And they had this. It looks a little different than the Rook, but one that smashed in the front of the house. And you can see the guys here waiting at the bottom with their guns drawn. It's like an upgraded Rook, like Rook 2.0, 3.0. So, they methodically went through the scene. Tax records showed that the address indicate that it has been owned by a person named Hyung Lee. and or Hyung Chin Lee since 1990. Residents had praised for the police. That place got torn up. A neighbor account, retired 25-year-old SEPTA police officer Rev Tracy Mallory lives a few houses away on the side of the street. It's tragic, Mallory said. The one thing about this block is every different nationality and religion live here, and everybody got along. There was no discord between neighbors. Mallory said he would see the residents of the home on the street to say hello, but didn't know them beyond that. He did praise them for the action of the police. Okay. And there was one. It's supposed to be one that had a little bit of information. Let's see. Where's that at? Let's see. Check this one out here too. Okay. So, 6 people from the same family are presumed dead after the shooting. A surviving family member tells Action News. Let me see. Are they in this video here? It began with a 911 call for a report of a shooting at the 58 Lewis Avenue. The alleged shooter was identified by his mother as 43-year-old Can Lee. Lee's mother, Chin Lee, told Action News that she heard Can Lee having an argument with his 13-year-old niece in an upstairs bedroom. Chin Lee said that she heard Can Lee say he was going to get a gun. That's when Chin Lee said her husband took her out of the home and the shots were fired. Chin Lee said it was her husband who called 911. Oh, so that clears it up. Chin Lee said that she has no idea why Can Lee had a gun. She went on to say that her son has no history of mental illness. So now you can't say mental illness. Can Lee is dead, Chin Lee told Action News. She went on to say that her other son, Zong Lee, and his wife, Brittany Lee, were also presumed dead, along with their children, Nakalaya, 13, Natalia, 17, and Xavier, 10. Wow. Exactly how many victims were shot is unclear, and the cause of death will be determined by an autopsy. Chin Lee said that the family did not have a history of arguments. Chin Lee said that her and her family came to the United States in 1981 and lived in this area for 40 years. Wow. So an argument with the niece. So they're saying no mental illness, supposedly, no history of arguments. But honestly, I don't know. That's coming from the parent. Who really knows what happens in that household? I wonder if one of the deceased. This was a picture that was posted. So this name here, Brittany McLean. I don't know if that's one of the deceased. That's one of the names that popped up when I pulled up the address. So I said it was mostly Asian names, but even this says Lee on here. But that looked like maybe it wasn't Asian or whatever. I don't know if some of the people that are deceased are in this picture or not. Possibly. So that was on her Facebook. And that's it. That's the update so far. I don't know if we're going to ever get a motive or reasoning behind this. I mean, something as simple as an argument. This dude's just, I'm going to go get a gun. And she literally says here, got into an argument with his 13-year-old niece in the upstairs bedroom. He was going to get a gun. So they were in the same house, I guess. Chin Lee said her husband took her out of the home and the shots were fired. Chin Lee said it was her husband who called 911. Chin Lee said she had no idea why Can Lee had a gun. So she didn't know he had a gun? So I guess you can't say mental illness this time. 3 generations. Brittany is black and their kids are the mixed one. Oh, let's take a look at the picture again. Oh, no, Brittany. Is that what you're saying? Really? I don't know about that. I feel like there's got to be more to the story. Can you check with Nick? Oh, you know what? I forgot. Nick, there was something I had to show you too. He did tweet something out. Let me pull up his tweet. He had some inside information too. Where is it at? Of course, I can't find it now. Let me type in his name. He had something really interesting. I forgot what it was. Okay, here it is. This corroborates this article too. I'm told the suspect's wife came running out of her home yesterday, trying to call for help. She reportedly banged on the doors of neighboring homes, but no one answered. Damn. The husband then chased her down with a car. It's unknown if he caught her, but a neighbor told me that the husband came back home. Furthermore, the grandmother stays at the house from Wednesday to Sunday. The husband shares 3 kids with the wife. Man, so he just wiped them all out. Wow. So that's it, man. That's the mini update I wanted to give on that. That's the latest news. If there's more that comes out with like motive or anything else, I definitely will. If you guys could hit the like button, I'd appreciate that. Things that we're doing. So tomorrow morning, we're doing the trial at 6 p.m. Eastern. This Tucker Carlson Putin interview is dropping. I'm going to try to make sure I make it for Discord. We're going to go watch it on Discord. And I think that's it for now. And that interview is about to be, I think it's like 2 hours long. I think it's dropping on Twitter and I think on his website, I think. So it's going to be huge. We're going to be chilling. And let me just make sure I redirect this tomorrow morning. Stream, redirect. Boom. All right. That's it, man. Thank you guys so much. I will see you on Discord. Bye. Bloop, 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 bloop.